Hey, guys, it is your favorite coach, Tamika James. I am here with Miss Jenifer Jay, the Premier VA. She is going to tell you a little bit about yourself. I'm really excited to interview her today because she actually has what most business people actually need and sometimes don't really know that they need. So without me introducing you, because I know that you may want to tell people something about yourself that I may not say the right way. So have the floor.
Awesome. All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Jenifer Jay. I am the Premier VA. I create and set up systems and automations for business owners so that they can grow and scale their businesses with systems. Most business owners started their business to solve a problem, not to set up systems. And that's where I come in at. I do that. I love to do it. And that's what I do.
Yay. Okay. So I'm going to get started with you telling me, why do you even love doing what you do? Why?
Amazing. Yes. So my backstory is I grew up in a family construction company. And at the age of 14, while everybody else was at the mall and out playing and doing all of that, I was writing out payroll checks. So this has been embedded in me since I was young. And I started doing this for my family before computers even started, before any of that. I've always had the mindset to create the systems and the processes. And if I see something's not right, I'm like, oh, we need to do it like this, and we need to create this system. So I've actually been doing this since I was 14.
Wow.
No lie.
Okay. So now at this point in your life and your career, you know that it is a system. Did you actually know it was a system back then, or were you like just doing things?
Hecky nah, I was just doing things. Like me and my dad will argue all the time because I would be like, look, it just makes sense. It's like we should do it this way because, and he would just argue. Now, of course, back then everything was like in paper. We were doing things in notebooks, and then as computers came about, then I started transitioning everything to computers and like, listen, this is crazy. We need to do payroll only on this day, but let's process it on Thursday, and then we can get the checks out on Friday. And just creating different systems. Like, no way did I know that that's what I was doing. And I didn't embrace it at that time. I was just doing it because I had to. You know what I mean?
Now, I bet that was another argument with your dad when the computers came about. I can only imagine if he was like looking at you sideways when you first started telling him about what needs to be done. Now you're going to introduce this device?
Yeah. So he didn't even know how to turn it on. Like, he didn't even know how to turn a computer on, let alone do something. So he never did anything. I used to try to walk him through doing stuff on the phone. He just ended up buying me a computer for me to work from home. And then I figured out how to connect the two together so I can go in and I can print there and do all of that stuff. So I've always been into, because I think it's because of the construction mind. And I'm a tomboy. So
I was too. Did you know that? I was.
I'm the one, if we were riding bikes and your chain popped, I got you. Flip your bike over. Let's go. I could pop your chain. I could take the whole bike apart, put it back together. My mind just has always been like that. So, yeah, no, when computers came, I was all over it. And he was just like, how do I turn this off? Okay, you left this thing on. How do I turn it off? And so, yeah, he was just like, look, you do it. Because I was always trying to help him not sit at his desk so much. And I'm like, listen, we could put that thing in the computer and let it go, and you don't even have to do it. So that was like my main goal, to not have my father sit at his desk so much, to try to take some of the weight off of what he had to do.
Man, that sounds like a tagline for your business. Don't sit at your desk too long. Listen. So, all right. So what I really want you to do now is break this word systems down, because I actually heard you say two different types of systems, to be honest, because you spoke about the things that happen on like a computer or, like a device or whatever. And then you spoke about the things that people do and when. So, I mean, I'm just thinking I'm hearing two sets of systems. So,
Yeah.
like, can you begin to really break this down? Because I think this is where people really don't understand what they need because they don't even know what it is. All right, well,
Right.
break those two down for us.
I got you. So there are two types of systems. You'll hear people use them, and you got to pay attention to what they're saying so you understand what type of system they're talking about. So the word system itself just means a set of processes. So it's a set of processes together to get a goal done, right? So that can either be a set of processes that you've created, or it could be a computer system. It could be a software system. So think about when you wake up in the morning. So if I was to say my system in the morning is I get out the bed, I go use the bathroom, I brush my teeth, I get in the shower, I put my clothes on, I do my hair. That's a system. If we think about, I always like to reflect to this movie, The Founder. The Founder was about the founders of McDonald's. They created systems for the restaurant, but they were outside in a parking lot with chalk creating these systems like this person stands here, this person hands off this. Those are sets of processes that creates the system of how to take an order at McDonald's, right? Once you take an order, then this happens. Okay, then this person needs to be in play. Okay, then this person needs to be told to drop the fries or do the burgers. I never worked at McDonald's, so I don't know how it worked, but I did work at Wendy's though. But just those systems, we always had a system of how it's done, right? So in our businesses, we have a system. Just like just to be on your podcast, there was a system. I had to schedule this podcast episode, and then you had to send a link. You on the back end, you have systems that you do to get ready. So those are systems and processes, as well as your software system who handles all your processes for you. So that's the difference when people say systems. You got to have systems in your business. It's synonymous. It's software and your manual processes put together.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for breaking that down because someone needed to hear that. So now let me ask you this. Do you assist with both ends of that or one or the other?
So I don't do processes because who wants to do processes? I don't even want to do them. I know there, and people ask me like, well, can I just hire somebody to do them? No, this is why. Because you have to put down what's uniquely you. There is something that makes you stand out from other people. There are ways that you want things done that makes your business so unique. You have to do it yourself. So will I walk you through it? Yeah, I'll walk you through it. I'll help you if you say, hey, look this over. Yes, but you actually have to do the work. Now, setting up the systems, yes. And on the calls, if you don't have your processes together, I'm going to ask you, okay, what do you do now? It doesn't matter if it's perfect because we're applying automation to it and creating a strategy for it on the call. So if it's not perfect, it's fine because I'm going to tweak it to make it perfect to where the automation is taking place. So we actually do set up the systems. We'll create the strategy, but I'm not going to document your processes for you. You got to do it yourself.
Now, okay, so because you don't really do the systems, can you actually start your work without understanding their processes?
No, not at all.
You can't. So you
No,
still have to, like you say, you have to delve in just a little bit to
a
be
lot.
able to do your job.
Yeah, so in order to do my job, number one, you have to be an established business. I don't work with people who don't know what they're doing or who they're targeting. I don't work with people who don't have those things in place because what you don't realize is that that's important for what system we build and how we build the automation out. So if you come to me and you say, I need systems in my business, my first question is, what do you do? And how does people come to you? So how does a contact come to you? Are they emailing you? Are they DMing you? Are they texting you? Okay, then what's your next step? What would you like to see happen? But if you don't know that, you don't know who you're targeting, you don't have your branding together, you don't have your logo together. I do not work with businesses who are not fully set up and registered, number one, with the state. And and let me tell you why. Setting up these systems without that information causes huge issues. So just Active Campaign, for instance, which is an email autoresponder. If you set it up with your personal Gmail and not a professional Gmail, they will shut your system down. You will not be able to send out anything. They don't care if you're in the middle of a launch. They don't care. They need to talk to somebody to verify you are not a terrorist or you are not somebody trying to defraud people. And they will not. I had this happen with me working on a project. 2:00 in the morning, they had to get on the phone with Active Campaign and verify all of their business information just because they didn't use a professional email. And it was in the middle of a campaign. I mean, a huge webinar was happening. Huge client. They had to do that. So I only speak to things that I know. I tell you to do things for a reason. And that's why those processes are in place. So you definitely have to know who you are, what you do, why you do it, and you have to be a legitimate business.
Awesome. You stole a part of my question because I was going to say, who do you work with? But okay, so I do have another piece of that question. Is there like a specific audience that you actually work with? Do you work with like specific people on a consistent basis?
Yeah, so consistently, I work with service-based entrepreneurs who are between the ages of 33 and 40, to be exact, who are making six figures and above in their businesses and offer products and services. That's my specific avatar. And the majority of my clients are men.
Wow. Okay, let's talk about you getting to your avatar. How long did it take you to figure that out?
So I started my business in 2015. I figured that out in 2020.
Whoa!
2020. And it's because of not being in the right place with the right people, right? Yeah. And so I didn't get that. I didn't get that until last year. And I actually honed in on that from Words Taylor, who is now my business partner, but was my client. He is the one who really helped me understand this is who your avatar is. This is who you work with. I don't care what you have on that little paper that you figured out. And we do it using the DISC. And so once I learned about the DISC assessment and became certified in the DISC assessment, shouts out to the fourth power, it really helped me understand like, oh, he is right. And so that is why the majority of my clients are men, because number one, they're hands off. They let me do what I need to do. You know, sometimes we don't like people telling us what to do. And so when I'm doing systems, you got to leave me alone. Just tell me what you need. I'm going to do it. Don't touch it. Leave it alone. And so they're more susceptible to like, look, do what you do. This is what I need. This is what I want. Do it. So that's why.
Okay. So tell me, why did you get certified for being able to do the DISC assessments for other people?
So what that did for me was it has opened my eyes to not only helping me identify how to address people in business and how to speak to them. It also helped me in my personal life with my children. Just understanding who they are. So that DISC assessment definitely helps you understand who people are and what they need. And so it's not that somebody is being difficult, it's that it doesn't come to them naturally.
It's
So
in their DNA. Yeah.
yes. And so it took me to be certified in the DIS to understand that and to be able to navigate properly through my business and help people like, okay, this is the system that you need for yourself because of your superpower and what you need. You need something that's always telling you, hey, do this, hey, do this. You didn't do it. And you need reminders because you're going to forget. So it really helps me talk to my clients and set up systems that'll work for them.
Now that's what the DIS did for you when you originally actually like went through the whole process. Was there a reason why you decided to do it? Like, were you
Yeah,
gonna coach or do anything?
yeah,
Why?
I am. And that's what's going to happen in Q4 because I'm going to use the DISC assessment as a service and I'm going to consult with companies to help them with their systems because using the DISC, I can help people identify what type of system someone needs, right? So if you have an employee that's maybe, well, they don't never get their work done. Well, do they have the right tools and the right systems to get their work done? They may be someone who needs a project management system with all of their tasks laid out for them instead of you just assuming that they're going to create this system for themselves. So Q4 of this year, I will be consulting businesses using the DISC. So that is why I really got into it. But I identified like, I'm not ready for that yet, but I mapped out when I will be ready.
Oh, you are going to be super dope. Oh my goodness. I can just see it and feel it right now. So, can you get ready to tell us give us a lesson because this podcast is really all about showcasing you guys as entrepreneurs because I like to bring people on that are doing amazing things, that believe in themselves, and that really want to show others that what they're doing is possible. The last part is that I want there to be some sort of a lesson. So someone can come here, they could pick up a little something, walk away. So if someone is in business and they just don't understand something, what is something that they could do on their own, like as a system? Anything that you could think of is fine.
So I definitely have so many systems that you could just put together on your own. So because I solely work with service-based businesses, one of the things we all need is an appointment scheduler and a form. If you don't create anything else for your business, you need a way for people to contact you. You need a way for people to interact with you. So because we're such a social media state, as you show up in places, that's the first place people go. And if they go to your social media and they look at let's just say Instagram. They look at your Instagram bio, it's no link there. Or the link that's there has nothing to do with what you're offering. So something simple and free that you could do is you could create a link tree. Link, LINK dot TREE. You can go there, create a link tree. Now, what are you going to do with it? You're going to create a form. You could use Google Forms. Create a form. And on that form would be the normal questions you would need to ask someone on the call for you to offer them your product or service, right? And so you put that in a form, you put that in a link tree, you take the link for the form, put it in the link tree, and then they can complete that form, right? Now, one thing that's not free is an appointment scheduler, which you can get for $10. You can do Calendly, you can do Acuity. I know it's 50 million others, but those are the only two I work with. And I only speak to systems I work with. So
Okay.
you can get that you can set an appointment type up, right? Put the link in the Google form when they complete it, because it'll show you like, what do you want them to see when they complete it? Put that link there. They can schedule an appointment. That's an automated system. And Calendly is $10. Acuity is $10 for $10. You got an automated system, super simple. And now when people come to your social media, and not just for Instagrams, LinkedIn, Facebook, anywhere that you're showing presence online, you should have a link for people to access you or your product or service. Even if you're selling books, then throw your book link in there. But that is one of the main things I feel business owners slip on, because you're missing out on so many leads. And now we have Clubhouse, right? So people come on Clubhouse and you're talking. The first thing people are doing is looking at your bio.
Right.
And it's like, how do I get in touch with you? Like, I'm not going to send you a DM because I'm going to forget because I'm busy. So that's the most common problem that I see that most business owners, new, old, it doesn't matter, are missing out on, is making sure that they're accessible via social media some kind of way.
Boom, mic drop, gems dropped, everything. That was amazing. That was amazing. And the way that you said it, it just flowed. And I will tell you, when someone's getting ready to work with someone, if a person can speak like you just did and they can flow with information, it tells you whether they actually do it or whether they know what they're talking about.
Right.
And that you just did. That you just nailed.
I do. I am definitely true to this. Like, I really geek out on it for real.
So I just asked you to give everyone a lesson on how to do something themselves, because people quite often will want to do things on their own. You have all sorts of, business people. So I heard someone say, and I've heard this said several times, if you have a service, which you offer a service, you do all of this stuff for your clients. Mm-hmm. But if you have a service and you have someone who doesn't want to connect with you on the service, mm-hmm. then you need to have a product, right? Mm-hmm. So do you have a product? I know you do.
I do. I you do. A product.
And I want you to take the time right now to just tell us what that product is. This podcast is about so many things, as I said. It's about exposure for you as the entrepreneur. It's about people learning something and people actually going on your journey with you just a little bit to see, where you started, how you moved along, and where you are now. So I think we're doing great in the interview so far. We're covering most of those things. So let's jump into you sharing exactly what that product is if someone doesn't want to sign on for your services.
Okay, no problem. So the product is called the Systems Playbook. I created the Systems Playbook because you'll hear people say your ideal client is one type of person, right? So in the beginning, I did lay out to you who I work for, but I'm like, but I want to help people who really are just starting their business. How can I help them? I don't want to give them fluffy stuff that leads to something else. No, I really want them to get help and be able to set these systems up themselves. So I created the Systems Playbook. And what it does is it takes you from A to Z in your business. It tells you how to do your processes. I give you templates. I give you tips and tricks on how to not have to sit there and write them out. I also tell you how to choose the right system for your business in that playbook. Then once you choose the system, I have about 3 courses in this playbook on how to set these systems up. And I'm sitting there talking because that's not who I am. I am screen sharing and showing you step by step how to set up the systems in your business. And so that is called the Systems Playbook. And you can get it by going to pvaplaybook.com. And it answers all of the questions like, where do I start? What systems do I set up? How do I set those systems up? And not only do you get that playbook, you get 30 days of email support from me and my team on if you get stuck or if you have a question. I've even had somebody call me, but that's only because they have my phone number, to ask me like, what should I be doing at this point? I'll give you an example. Us as entrepreneurs think that we shouldn't have departments in our business. Why do you think you shouldn't have departments in your business? Your business model should be the same as any other company out here. It should be the same as Coca-Cola. It should be the same as Pepsi. I must be thirsty. It should be the same as Nike and any Amazon. They had departments. Why shouldn't you have departments? I don't care if it's just you. You're doing everything. You're doing human resources. You're doing payroll. You're doing the accounting. You're doing the marketing. You're doing the operations. Those all should be departments in your business. So once your business scales and takes off, you are ready to go. You're not held back by anything. So the system playbook solves all of that.
All right. Listen, if people don't get it, I don't know what to tell them, because it's all right there. You just said a lot. So thank you for being you and creating these systems. Creating the opportunity for people to actually learn how to, use the systems. So I would like for you to now move into a space where you're going to share with us some of your mess ups. Like, you just kind of carried us on a journey where you share with us that you were working with your dad, and then you moved along, you started your business, and you didn't really even understand your own avatar. So you figured some things out along the way. But where was that that moment in time when you just really messed up and you were like, I don't even know what the heck I was doing, thinking, or whatever, and you never want someone to do that again? So I call it telling us a bedtime story. So if you would like to take the floor, tell us a bedtime story.
Girl, which one? It's so many. So one thing I can say is that for me, I overanalyze everything. So one thing that I know that I messed up on was Black Friday is huge for everybody, right? And so in trying to be prepared for Black Friday, I had to have everything perfect. I had to create every little system. Oh, I got to make sure that all of this stuff is done on the back end, and oh, it's still not right. And I totally missed Black Friday. I probably could have made $10,000 on Black Friday, probably more. But because I kept over analyzing and, oh, I don't have the right systems in place, I can't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't put out not one product for Black Friday, and I was kicking myself that whole time. Another thing that I messed up on super, super big is now I've always had systems in place, but because I am who I am a systems like junkie. So I will get into different systems, and if people send me systems, I'll try to figure them out. And if they work for me, I'll try to implement them. So I'm going to tell you right now, today, this day, right here, this morning, I just told my assistant, like, listen, if we don't have this system up and running in June, and it's not we, it's me. If I don't have this system up and running in June, we're going back to basic systems. I'm abandoning this system because I don't really have the time to learn it. And I'm going to just go back to the basic because it's screwing up things. It's messing with our timelines. It's messing with things not getting sent like they're supposed to be getting sent. And it's all because of me and my systems issue. And so sometimes it's like, stop trying to look at what other people have. And that's not what I'm doing. But a lot of people do this. Stop looking at what other people have. Do what works for you. If it's basic and it's simple, be basic and simple. Long as it's rolling your business, you making money, and you could go out here and take trips and fly and do what you want to do and live your best life, So yeah, I have messed up a lot. I had a bunch of other super duper mess ups too. Now I'll mess up things in my business and I really won't care. It won't really bother me like that. But if I mess up with a client, oh my goodness. I want to crawl under the bed. So that was one thing that I did mess up, and I failed to take my own advice. I didn't put systems in place before I rolled out a system for a client, and I didn't put checks and balances in place, and some things were off. So that hurt me to my core that happened, and that was a very bad time in my life.
Wow, wow. But I bet you it happened. It sounds like it happened because you were excited about doing something new and different and you just really wanted to like explore. So that's what it sounds like to me. But yeah, but you said it, like you got to put it in place, test it, see what's what, all of these different things. And yeah, so okay, all right. Listen, we all have these things that happen to us because I really believe little things happen to us to prepare us for something bigger. So that when you get to that larger client that is, making figures, you're not gonna mess up with them because you've already been through the lesson. So
Right.
yeah, exactly. So you were just talking about changing systems and like how often do you change? You just change if you see something? Do you feel like, oh, every year we need to like, okay, let's get up with the times? Like, what do you do?
Are you asking me what I do or what you should do?
Okay. Answer whichever way you want to
This
answer.
is one of those cases where it's like, don't do as I do. Do as I say. But technically, once you set up systems in your business, you shouldn't have to move them, right? So that is why I tell people, get Active Campaign. It's $19. If you're just doing email marketing, get it for email marketing because that system has so much more capabilities that you're just not there yet. But when you get there, you won't have to move. You won't have to go through the growing pains of moving contacts from one email system to another and resetting up all the automations you have. For me, I scaled up to a team. Okay. And so I didn't really have anybody who could help me create a team system that worked for me. So in my playbook, I show you how to create a wish list, right? A wish list that you need. So I needed certain things to see from my team for me to be efficient. And that's why I moved us out of one system to another because it wasn't working for me. So now it's caused commotion in the business as far as things are not flowing like I want them to. And that's why I'm like, look, I got to just make the decision to move back to basic. But you shouldn't be switching systems because some new system came out if you don't have the time to do a full demo of it and see if it really works, because then it's going to become a bottleneck and you don't want it to be. So and that's why I'm so adamant about getting the right system set up, not because my friend over here is using this system and my friend over here is using that system, but does that system work for you and your business? Mm-hmm. So no, you shouldn't be changing every year.
Okay. All right. Now tell me something else about Active Campaign. Do they charge for the contacts? Does it matter how many people you have?
Yes. So as you get past 500, they do charge you. So it's in increments of 500. The next one goes to 2,500. The next one goes to 5,000. The next one goes to 10,000, and then 100,000. So they charge you in those increments. But the system itself can also run an entire business. So just for example, most people who know me know that I am David Shan's assistant. And so Active Campaign does a lot of the heavy lifting on the back end for the membership, right? So we're not even talking about email marketing. We're talking about, oh, somebody canceled their subscription. Okay, well, when somebody cancels their subscription, a lot of stuff has to happen, right? We need to know that they canceled. We need to make sure that they're pulled out of the automations in the system. And we need to make sure that any of the other software systems that they're in that we're using for the membership, they're pulled out. So now the system is notifying us. It's also putting it in a Google Sheet, in a Google Drive that has a list. So we can always go and say, oh, well, this person is on cancellation list, or, oh, this person is on the list for the content creation boot camp, right? So we use that system to do a lot of that and more. So this is where I say, if you just get the system, it's $19 when you're just starting out for just to send emails to your audience, right? And granted, if he didn't build up his email list, who would he market to? Who would he market the other things that he has? So you got to start with building up your email list, because you want to get people off of social media. So I don't know how much time we got, but that's my next pet peeve.
Yeah.
Get people off social media. But ActiveCampaign does that and so much more. It also connects to your website. It can give you site analytics. And once you start working with Facebook ads, it will create Facebook audiences for you. So this is things people that they just don't know about the system, but you have to also have a strategy to put that in place.
Yeah, this has been some great information, and yeah, I caught a few nuggets of some things that I'm going to actually do. So thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah. So one of the things that you said, this was earlier on in the interview, you were talking about how you work with people who are already in business, and you want them to know it's certain things before they get started. Here's my big question: how do people really know that how do they know what they need?
What they need. So getting into communities of people that are really trying to help you, right? So if you hear, it's getting into those communities, but it's also taking action on what you hear, not just listening and you're not implementing anything. So everybody you hear talks about, you got to have your business register. You have to have a registered business. How can you operate without having your business register, without having your domain names? Because the professional email that you need to create is a domain name that you have to buy that domain and then create that email and then verify.
Yeah.
Right. So these are things people, they don't know and they don't pay attention to, because they have all these other shiny objects and squirrel syndrome that's pulling them away. That's not important. This is what's important, because as I told you, it'll shut your system down. And if you put the wrong information in your payment processor, they're going to shut you down too and hold your money. So you don't want that. So if people are saying, listen, set your business up properly, get your business form correctly, get your EIN number, get your business address, then you need to pay attention, because do you have a real business, or is this just a hobby?
A hobby. Yeah, right. Yeah, when it's not set up properly, it is definitely a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are actually they start these hobbies because they're not really sure if they really want to be in business. Like they just want to make some extra money. But I think what most people have to do is, okay, even if you kind of played small and you were like dipping your little pinky toe in, now when you see that you have some significant money coming in, you're taking some significant actions to get your clients and to work with them. Yeah, now you got to really get on the ball and do everything the right way. So yeah. All right. Well, I actually created this membership, which is called UBG. And it stands for Underground Biz Membership. And those things that you're talking about, I don't share every piece of that information from me, but I have other people to come in and just share with the members. Because this is another thing, like every person you encounter doesn't have all of the answers that you actually need to run your business. And I think that's where people mess up too. They're kind of like, oh, I can just do everything myself. And you really can't. You can't get all the answers from one person. So yeah, so maybe you can come in one day and share some stuff with our members to just help them to understand what they really need to be doing. Because I really like helping people, and that's what the membership is all about.
Yeah. definitely.
Yeah.
And just to speak to your point, I love that you said, that I have people come in, because although I say this is what you need, I'm not going to tell you how to do it, because that's not my area of expertise, right?
Right.
But I do have people I can refer you to. Okay, here, go over here. And so you'll find too that if people are serious, they'll go over there and they'll get that done, and then they'll come back. But if they're not serious, you'll check in with your friends and say, hey, did so and so come to you? No, I haven't seen them. So it's like, okay, so stay off my calendar, all right? You are draining my energy, but I definitely love that. I would love to come into your community and help do Q&A, whatever, because and just to give you an example, it's not about money all the time. It's about, listen, we had to figure this stuff out. I just told you it took me till 2020 to figure out my avatar. Right. And I'm in a clubhouse room every morning at 7:00 every morning. And that's all we do is help business owners. We don't ask for money. We don't ask for follows. We don't ask for likes. We're just spending, and we want to see businesses win. And if we can stop, just like with your kids, if you can stop your kid from falling, you're going to try to stop your kid from falling. You can't stop them all the time, but you can stop them sometime.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, and that's I just tell people it's my mission. We do make money doing a lot of things that we do, but when you know your why and you understand exactly who you want to help and you understand why you do what you do, it's just definitely not about money all the time. It's really not. And then money has its place. Let's be honest, right? Let's be honest. It has its place too.
We need it now. We need it to live now.
Yes, we do.
But once you get to the point where you don't have to, I like to say, I want to get to the point where I'm not chasing money. You want to get to the point where you're not chasing money, and then you're able to just give of yourself to be able to help. So, no, definitely.
Now, let's talk about real quick. I want to ask you the question: can you work from anywhere?
Yes. Do I? I got issues, girl.
Yeah.
So it's Jenifer issues, but yes, I can work from anywhere because all I need technically is a laptop to do what I do. I can work from a beach somewhere. I can go to another country, long as they have sufficient internet. I can work.
Has that been a dream of yours to be able to work from anywhere? Did you even care?
I didn't really care. I didn't really care. I thought about it, but then because I need 2 screens to work. So I was thinking like, okay, they got portable screens, maybe so. I can say that it has definitely benefited, because on my daughter's birthday, even though I had projects I needed to do, I was able to rent a cabana at Kalahari while they go to the water park. I'm in the cabana working. I had a fan, I had the plug. That's all I needed. I had internet. So, and then I would just sit there and work in my swimming suit,
Yes.
So
hello.
People. And then okay, hold on. I'm about to go hit this water slide. Then I'm gonna come back. So yeah, I guess to be honest with you, for me, I just want to work the way I want to work. Yeah. So if I don't want to get dressed up to go to work, I don't want people interrupting me. I hated working in a 9 to 5 because I'm so task oriented. I didn't like the coffee talk. I didn't like people coming in gossiping, like, get out of my office. I'm trying to work.
Yeah.
So that's always been me. So that's why I could just sit and work all day in a room by myself, quiet.
Jen, I didn't know that about myself too, because I was always around people all the time, and I do love people, but then there's a part of time when I'm like, I don't want people around. I don't like people anymore for this moment in time. But I didn't even realize that I was really able to work from like home and loved not being around people at some points in time. And it's crazy how, everything can shift for you. But right. I wanted to ask you, when it comes down to these 2 screens, could you use like 2 little, those little portable projectors?
Yeah. So Amazon has a screen that is a portable screen that'll attach onto my tablet. I did see that, so I'm gonna get that. And
Okay, yeah, because I want to see you on. Well, you can't put this screen and these projectors on the beach, but you can be in another state or country.
I can.
Oh, okay. Listen, I'm gonna be checking out your social media to see when it happens.
That's all right. I'm about to come down there and we gonna be on the beach together and you gonna see it happen.
Let's do it. Let's go. Absolutely. So yeah, this has been really amazing. I want to ask you, what do you want to leave people with? I mean, you've given so much, but if you can think of anything that someone really needs to hear today before they close out of this broadcast, anything maybe that you haven't spoken about, or I don't know.
Just from one entrepreneur to another, don't stop. Consistently show up, because you consistently showing up and being authentic you don't know who's watching you. You don't know who sees you, who's watching you for the future as well. So as long as you're sitting there and you're consistently showing up, you're consistently providing value and being yourself and talking about what you know, you'll win. You just got to keep going. Trust me. You just got to keep going.
That was big what you just said. That was big. Last night I went to talk to these young upcoming entrepreneurs, and I walked them through this book that I wrote, and it has these questions to ask them things about themselves. There was this one young lady in the room, and she said that the one negative thing about her is that she's lazy. But this is what she said. She said, yeah, but I'm just lazy in my house. And, just the people in my house, they're the only ones that see me. And I was like, but wait, they're watching you. Your little ones, the people that come into your house that they're watching you and they're picking up on these things. And I love that you just said someone's watching and you don't know who that is. Yeah, you could change someone's life by you just being better.
I wish I could have told you before that young lady. My daughter, who is 17, just graduated, but her friends will say, I want to work for you because they've been watching me. And so they're like, I want to know how to do that. I want to work for you. And then I have my other daughter's friends like, I'm about to quit my job. I'm about to work for you. You got some positions open. So you never know from what end people, your kids' friends could be watching you and admiring you, and you never know. They know that my tablet and my laptop is in my purse at all times, no matter where we out. If I need to, I will whip them out. They be like, look at you going at it. I'm like, girl, I gotta get it done. So yeah, that is true facts, and definitely you just hit the nail on the head with that.
Well, you keep being you, keep showing up and doing your thing and growing. And I just want to also tell you, I've just been really excited about seeing all of your growth as well. I mean, like, I'm watching too. I see it, and I'm really proud of you. So I just want you at the end of this interview to just once again give us your information verbally, because this is a podcast. People are listening and they are watching. So tell them how they can get in touch with you, your social media, as well as your playbook.
Okay. Yes. So I am Jenifer Jay, the Premier VA. I can be found on all social media channels at the Premier VA. That's V as in Victor, A. That's even my website, thepremierva.com, and get the Systems Playbook, which is the ultimate guide to systems. It will get all of your systems set up, and you won't have to worry about paying somebody to set them up. And you can do that by going to pvaplaybook.com.
Awesome. Well, we are concluding this interview today. I thank you so much for coming and sharing and just giving someone some hope that they can do at least a little bit of what you're doing. And if they stay on track, they can go really high. And thank you for sharing your growth with us today. So we're going to close out. So thank you all for listening, and we'll see you on another episode of Entrepreneurs Speak with Coach Tamika James. See you guys later. Thank you.
Underground Biz Group. Underground Biz Group. Underground Biz Group. Underground Biz Group.